think if you look at the content of the whole document, it's malicious, it's retrogressive, and negates all the gains Kenyans have made under actually the current constitution. And in fact, I took a bit of time to interrogate the document and looked at the different aspects of it. It's deceptive actually. What Okut proposed to do in the guise of deceiving Kenyans that is going to reduce the number of elected representative office, what he does is to abuse the opening chapter of the current constitution by proposing a proposal that is not even tenable, is not even acceptable. When he says that the 47 counties will be turned into like a constituency college, which will allow them to elect a man and a woman, it's not feasible, it's not practical. That is one. The second thing again is he puts a clause, a rider, when he reduces the number of elected representatives from 290 to 47, whatever the number, and creates a clause that the number of words will be determined by the commission concerned. One is a product of the other. The number of constituents actually determine the number of words. So meaning he's trying to dupe the MCS. Secondly, this is a very populist proposal. A populist proposal that is not tenable, that negates even what we had during the colonial time. Take for example a place like Kiambu or Nairobi. Nairobi has 17 representatives. 17 representatives. How do you have two? Kakamega has 12 representatives. How do you have two? Nakuru, Wajir, Kiambu. It's not tenable. It can't work. That is one. The second thing is he comes up with the sweeping legalistic proposals that are not supported by the facts on the ground. I do accept that there are certain components within the current constitution that must be addressed. There are certain lacunas, certain unforeseen provisions within either contradictions or understatements or unworkable provisions within the current constitution. The way to address is not just to blind Kenyans. The way to address is to be realistic, come up with clauses that will improve on the current document, not clauses that will negate what is there and create other complexities that are not practical. The second other bit is this is a country. Kenya is a civilized nation. The issue of population growth is a reality. The number of Kenyans that we have had when we promulgated the current constitution right now is not the same. Maybe at that time we were about 38 million. Today maybe we're about 50 million. So the issue of representation is emotive. That is one. The other bit is the issue of addressing the jurisdictional conflict between the two houses. The framers of the current constitution, when they created the Senate and the National Assembly, had particular roles for each of the houses. And therefore, without addressing the roles, he just proposed to swap one house with the other house. Again, that is futuristic. The other bit, again, he rubbishes the entire, you see, in the Kenyan governance structure, we have the executive, we have the judiciary, and we have the executive. In one of the proposals where he says even a report by any groupings will constitute a prosecutorial authority for any case in court. I think that's an abuse. It's not tenable and it's going to lead to miscarriage of justice. That is why the framers of the current constitution, the framers of actually all civilized constitutions, emphasize on the separation of institutional roles. So there is no way another group will take over the role of the judiciary. Then what will be the role of the judiciary if a document prepared by any grouping can be a basis for arraigning somebody in court or taking somebody in court? So these are things that I see as a bit populist, because what he was trying to do is to address some of the public concerns over the years in the fight against certain practices. So the reality is, and I also see a bit of cheap politics. We already have the PPI initiative. He should have waited, or he should have even consulted. So bringing this document at this stage prematurely, coming up with a content that is not only implementable but also is a bit simplistic and sweeping, is just going to add to and confuse the Kenyan expectation. So what I want to urge Akur is to withdraw. If he doesn't withdraw, then we'll vigorously campaign against it and ask all our able representative, county assembly members to reject this with all the legal minds that they can afford.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, briefly, today's meeting about